there's something powerful and extraordinary in the ordinary if you can just sort of let it be itself. And I think here in Berlinale and outside of the United States, that also then takes on another meaning because you're kind of seeing something that you would never see, you know, like a shop in rural Florida. Like, I think that in itself suddenly becomes more than what it is. And so yeah, I think it kind of grows out of that. I think it's powerful to not create so much excess drama, and I think just to find the nuances in just everyday life and in little gestures and little conversations that reveal maybe things about place and time. I think that's powerful stuff.
Are we completely out of boiled peanuts?
Yeah.
There's none in the big freezer?
Uh-uh.
I haven't seen that guy. I hope he's still alive.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be funny about it. He's an old man. I've been buying peanuts from him for years. When I worked at Marina and Campground.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm talking back late 80s, early 90s. I was buying peanuts from that same guy.
What do you find interesting about the ordinary, and how do you gather your shots? Do you plan them out, or do you just point your camera at things that you then find interesting?
In this particular project, there wasn't a lot of planning. It was more of like setting up boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew everything had to be, for the most part, in the store. It had to be static shots is sort of the rule that I gave myself. And so going off of that and being a one-man crew member in this short, it forced me to really adhere to these like sort of like guidelines. So I just wanted to get a lot of portraiture shots of the different products and of the space, and not worry about panning or tilting and having too much camera movement. I thought that the editing could be the rhythm of the piece, and so that helped me maybe not kill myself while making it, but also give me restrictions, which I think allow you to be creative in different ways, you know?
Would you say it's fair to say that you shoot your footage and then you allow your film to come to life during the edit and maybe go into a different direction than you initially planned?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's over the years, especially when I first started out in quote-unquote filmmaking, it was more of like a passion for editing and cutting images together.
All right.
And so I think that I think that editing is one of my sort of I wouldn't want to say like strong suits, but it's like one of my more passion parts when it comes to filmmaking, more than like I'd say lighting and other technical things like that. So when I sit down on a project and that I've shot and I'm like looking at it and there is no script, I would say for this one, like I just started listening to the conversations. I had like 3 hours of recording, and I went through it all and made little markers and cut those conversations together in a way just from an audio standpoint that felt like a little story was being told or some things were developing. And then from there, it was like, how can the camera now become a new perspective that's not necessarily commenting on the audio? It's almost like a counterpoint, but that way you could either watch the film and get one sort of version of the story, or you could close your eyes and listen to it and get another story.
How much do you incorporate the audience, or how much do you think about the audience while in production, basically?
When I'm editing, I'm like, okay, the audience might be a little lost at first, but they're very smart and they're gonna pick up. And so if I'm giving them that credit, I'm gonna then push it a little bit further and be like, they don't need to see every speaking character.
Right.
They can just hear them, and I can show them something else, and they can decide to put 2 and 2 together, or to kind of take it the way they want to, you know?
When would you think, or when do you know that a project is finished, especially going into it in a non-traditional way?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's never finished, but when do you say, this is good?
Yeah. That's a good question. In the past, it's always been sort of a question of resources.
Mm-hmm.
And if those resources have reached that limit, then regardless of if I wanted to do more or something, I will kind of cut it off. So those resources can be time, they can be money, they can be maybe, passion, maybe I lose the kind of drive to do it. So either one of those, if I get to that point where they're just not there anymore, then that's usually the determining factor of like, let's wrap it up, let's put a bow on it, let's put it out in the world, see what happens, and move on. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is like just finish something. I think, especially if you involve a lot of people, it's like a respect out of them and yourself. You know, there's nothing better than finishing something. So just getting it done. I mean, yeah, you want it to be perfect, but I think for me, it's also about doing as much work as you can, and kind of exploring that, as opposed to fixating on one project and saying this is my magnus opus, you know, or whatever. You know, I think just, you know, trying to get it done is almost part of the whole process itself, you know.
So saying that, would you keep on picking up the camera and getting shots, even if you knew there's probably nobody watching?
Yeah, I mean, that's how it all started for me.
Yeah.
So it was very much a personal, fulfilling thing of just picking up the camera and doing shots and telling, I guess, little stories that were speaking to your sort of, you know, self more than what you were seeing, because it always felt like something was missing. And so I think that will continue for sure. And I feel blessed that even with that sort of path, certain opportunities that come my way, like this one, and I hope that also means that I think I will always have the drive to do it. I just don't know at what scale, and I really think that those are circumstances that I can't control. It will be more of like what will come my way, and if not, at least I know I'm comfortable enough to pick up a camera and do something myself in a certain size, you know.
How important is it for you to show your film in a cinema on the big screen, especially, you know, nowadays with every platform imaginable?
That's a good question. I think that it's an amazing opportunity, and I think I love it. And the audience, the hearing an audience react to it, whether they're silent or quiet, you know, like whether they're silent or they're laughing or they're gasping, like those little things, I think make it worth it. Actually, more than that sometimes I give credit to. I try not to put too much emphasis that I want to be in the theater all the time with my work, but I do like that idea. But again, I'm pretty much also, you know, I grew up, you know, I'm 32, so I kind of, I was going to the theater a lot, but at the same time was emerging all these other opportunities to at-home movie watching and all that, and I think that I'm very comfortable with this idea of like having my work online and people accessing it when they want to and at their comfort. And I think that sometimes my work is also better on a small screen. So I don't know why that is. Sometimes I feel like it just like that's how I shot it and imagined it, and sometimes I don't really think about it being in a theater, and so I don't know, like I love it, but I'm not dying for it. If it happens, it happens.